2032, Social Security gets an immediate 32% cut because there's nothing in the reserves anymore. So only the money going out is what's coming in, which is projecting to be a 32% cut.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're 35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke.
Oh, and don't you be saving for a rainy day. It's gonna rain every day. Oh, it's gonna rain and never stop raining.
Gen Z and millennials have been worrying themselves sick as to whether or not they're going to be able to retire. Let me take a second to reassure you. You probably won't. I'm just being realistic. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the clearest examples as to why this is the reality for so many people in 2026. As always, if you like this kind of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post new videos like this every week. And with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. So if you're younger, you're probably wondering how past generations were able to afford retirement. They used to have something known as a pension. What's a pension, you may be asking?
Most of you probably know it as a 401k, but a pension is what was available to a worker before a 401k was even an option. And what the United States decided silently, collectively, the corporations specifically, was that pensions were too expensive for the corporation. They were too good for the employee. Because a pension guaranteed that regardless of how the stock market performs, regardless of how the company does financially, they will continue to pay their former employee that has retired until they die.
Pensions used to be funded by the employer in exchange for your loyalty for a set amount of years. After you worked for that company for that set amount of years, they would pay you a fixed income for the rest of your life until you die. And those don't exist anymore. Instead, they were replaced by 401ks.
Now, all roads lead back to Reagan. So around this era, you can imagine some corporations looked at that and they're like, hold on, this is really expensive. How can we cut this overhead?
Now, we all know corporations like to save money. This is no secret. And the first way that they do this is they try to cut as many benefits to the employee as legally possible. And pensions became one of the first things on the chopping block.
You know, how can we reduce how expensive it is to pay people that spent their lives working with our organization, people that we owe everything to because they made us millions of dollars in profit while they got paid a base wage? And the answer was very simple. Take it away from them.
They basically said, retirement? We live to work. What do you want, gang? You don't need that. Get back to work.
But you can't just leave it empty. You have to provide some type of replacement, right? This is where the replacement comes into play. The 401k was implemented as a retirement plan where the financial burden of responsibility is now on the employee. It's on the individual.
So now with 401ks, you have to contribute your own money that you earn from your paycheck directly to that fund into the market so that it hopefully grows and compounds over the years so that you can retire with some money, assuming things in the market went well. So going from a fully employer-funded retirement now to a fully employee-funded retirement, kind of scummy.
Might say, well, hold on, but my company matches. So if I invest, let's just say best case scenario, every dollar you invest, you have an organization that'll invest the exact same amount of money.
That is best case scenario. A lot of companies do not match the exact dollar amount. Now what's really popular are 401k matches up to a certain percentage, 1% to 2% of whatever you contribute, which is nothing, let's be honest. And it's yet another way for them to save money by not having to give exactly what you give to your retirement fund, because they don't care if you have enough to retire. They hope you don't have enough to retire so that you keep working for them and that you keep making record-breaking profits.
That's not a deal for you. Let's say you put in about $10,000 in a year into your 401k. And so your company matches it and they give you $10,000 a year into your 401k as well.
Again, this is best case scenario.
You would think to yourself, wow, I've got $20,000 in my 401k and I only had to put in 10. Well, that company's $10,000 gets written off on their taxes. It is now deductible income. It is income they can take away from their actual revenue, which gives them a tax break at the end of the year. So they don't give you the full 10,000. They give you the 10,000, you don't get it, and they don't actually have to end up paying the full 10,000. You're not allowed to touch those funds until you leave the organization that's managing the 401k, or you reach 59 and a half, which at this point, I don't know anybody reaching 59 and a half that's able to actually retire. Let alone actually get out and go on a vacation that's worth anything, because everyone's knees are clicking and everyone's backs are all up because we have really bad healthcare too. But with the 401k, you get penalized anytime you touch it, you move it, you withdraw it. You not only take a percentage of the penalty, this early withdrawal penalty, if you're even able to, you also get a penalty when the stock market drops.
This is your money that you're taking penalties on. Excuse me? What kind of backwards ass logic is that?
When the stock market drops and your 401k drops as well, there is nothing you can do to stop your money burning. So if you reach 62 years old and you're like, I'm ready to retire, don't have a pension, you have a 401k. But oh no, the stock market did really bad just a year ago. Your $500,000 is now worth $320,000. And you want to know what you can do about it? Nothing.
Week to week, month to month, whatever you have invested in the stock market can vary drastically. And I've seen this firsthand. I'm invested in certain stocks. I have about $30,000 invested. Sometimes that's 25, sometimes it's 35. That's how volatile it gets day to day, week to week. Imagine your luck just lands you on a year, a month, a week where the stock market is tanking, but you have no choice but to sell because you need the money right then and there. You can't wait for things to get better. You're essentially trapped. You're screwed. You have to take out the money. And that is so scary for your money to be so reliant on a market that is unpredictable at the end of the day. Nobody can predict where the market is going to go.
It's the greatest American scam in history, and you will continue to contribute to it. And while you're giving the money to these organizations that are using your money from the 401k fund to fund their other projects, you are literally giving interest-free loans to the organizations. Not only interest-free, they pay you like a percent while they rake in billions of dollars off of your investments because they're getting free capital to give to other bigwigs. And there's nothing you can do about that as long as you continue to contribute.
And what is the alternative? Not contributing, not saving a dime towards your 401k? Yeah, some people are going to opt out. A lot of people actually are going to see this as the scam that it is and just decide, I'll figure it out when I get there. These companies are going to continue to get away with this because they know that people have no other option and they're stuck. What are you going to do? And taking a look at this comment, Congress gets pensions. Take it away. Of course, Congress gets pensions. Why wouldn't they? You think the people that are in power are going to leave themselves vulnerable like this? No, this is reserved for people that have no power. The average Joe, me and you. This makes me sick. And what really pisses me off about this is the whole rhetoric that nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work for a corporation that does not have their best interests at heart. What is the point of working for a company for years if they can't even guarantee you a fixed wage at the end of the loyalty that you gave them? This is why job hopping is so popular. This comment here, retirement was always supposed to be a three-legged stool. Social Security, 401k, and pension. Now it's more like a unicycle without a wheel. Or a seat. Exactly. You're just taking cold metal straight up the rear.
Great news. We are happy to invest our own money into your retirement because we greatly value the hard work that you put in.
Okay. And what if we live like really long?
That is a great question. We are very confident that you won't. Okay, so some good news and some bad news.
Great question. So the food is killing you and we're hoping that it kills you sooner rather than later.
We are going to reduce your pension, but we are also going to offer you a 401k match.
Okay. What is that?
Basically, it's an investment fund where you give us some money and then we match that amount of money so that it can compound over time.
All right. And the pension's not going to go away, right?
Oh, no. We care too much about our elders. For now. Okay, so it turns out the elders are suckling from the corporate teat a little too much. So we're going to get rid of the pensions, but we're going to keep the 401ks, and those are good.
I mean, it's really not close to as good.
Listen, it's basically the same thing, okay? Just instead of us paying you money until you die, we'll just pay you money and then someday you'll die.
They're actually not the same at all. Pension equals employer funded. 401k equals employee funded. Not the same at all.
So as you know, most companies don't offer a 401k match anymore. But as a special perk of working here, we're going to match your contribution.
Okay. And how much are you going to match?
Half of 2%.
So 1%.
Are you doing that math right? I don't think that math is right. Let me just double check. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, well, none of you are going to make it that long anyway. So what does it really matter? So
again, the food plan that we have, we strongly believe in this. And we're confident you won't be around here long.
We are happy to let you contribute money out of your own pocket to your retirement.
So now we're just giving you money and not getting any in return?
Listen, you give us money, we give you money. It's really the same thing.
It's not at all.
Great. Well, this has been fun. One last thing. Just make sure that you keep paying your Social Security, even though it won't be there by the time you're old. Okay?
And that last point is something that I wanted to touch on. Ever since I was in elementary school, all I've ever heard adults say when it comes to retirement is that Social Security will not be there in the event that you get older and need to use it. And that rhetoric has been going around since I can remember. Yet, something that we still pay into. and never will be able to take advantage of. We're getting boned.
In 2032, Social Security gets an immediate 32% cut because there's nothing in the reserves anymore. So only the money going out is what's coming in, which they're projecting to be a 32% cut.
How does the birth rate affect that?
Because you need more workers to pay into the system.
Think of it as a pyramid.
The two biggest reasons why Social Security is a problem now and why we won't be able to take advantage of it, we being the younger generation, is one, people are living longer than they ever have, which means more and more money is being sent out to these people as they live longer. And two, birth rates are declining. If the birth rates are declining, that means there's less workers to contribute to the Social Security fund, which means there's less money coming in. And it's as simple as that. And when you take into consideration that the birth rate issue is directly because of the cost of living and people simply can't afford, this problem seems pretty cyclical. Like it's a vicious cycle that just keeps happening over and over with what appears like no real solution on the horizon. You gotta love America. And this comment directly highlights what I was also told my entire life. My economics teacher in 2005 told me my generation was screwed because Social Security would be gone. And they're not wrong. We're seeing it happen in real time. Nothing we can do. This comment. I don't think I want kids now with how pricing works. Inflation hardly goes down. It just slows or speeds up. So kids will continue to get more expensive. Again, this is only going to exacerbate the Social Security problem. Less kids means less workers contributing to Social Security. Less people will be able to retire. It's as simple as that. What a mess.
New data shows that Gen Z is on track to have their first child in their mid to late 30s. And before you say anything about video games or ambition or woke women, let me tell you exactly what's happening. It costs nearly $300,000 to raise a child in this country. Childcare costs alone rose 51.8% in just 2 years, and the average annual cost of raising a child under 5 hit nearly $30,000 last year, rising faster than inflation.
Do you have a spare $30,000 laying around? I bet if you did, you didn't want to spend it on kids. And that's why the birth rate is declining. Right there, leading to the Social Security issue.
And ironically, it's the same men panicking about birth rates who signed a law that cut food assistance for 7 million people, strips 10 million of health insurance, and guts the nutrition programs that keep pregnant women and infants fed. Elon Musk says that low birth rates keep him up at night, but he helped dismantle the safety net that makes having children survivable. Gen Z isn't refusing to have kids. Gen Z is being priced out of it by the exact people demanding that we reproduce.
If the birth rate is such a huge issue, why are we making it basically unaffordable to have kids? And when you take a look at the comments, this is a common consensus. This comment, I refuse to have kids unless I can afford it. Kids are off the table for so many people until they feel they are financially able to support them. And honestly, I think that's one of the best decisions that you can make as a parent in 2026. However, lack of kids, again, means lack of people contributing to Social Security, which means more people won't be able to retire. This is a topic that we've already covered on this channel before, and I do want to do a follow-up video because it's only gotten worse in 2026. The cost of kids is through the roof, and a lot of people are starting to realize not worth it.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're 35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. In this body, we had better start figuring that out because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money 40 years in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today, but the federal government wasted it.
And that is the harshest reality that a lot of people are finding themselves in. Social Security was automatically taken out of their pay. They had no say into paying it. They had to. They were required legally to pay into it. If they had taken that same money, put it in the market, they'd be millionaires. This problem wouldn't exist. However, they trusted the government. They trusted the government would use the money responsibly. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't trust anybody that was $30+ trillion in debt with any of my money. I'm just saying. So if historic methods of being able to retire are completely failing our generations, then one might assume I just need to save as much money as I can myself and pray that it's going to be enough by the time I'm able to retire. And this is where the next problem comes in with retirement.
I know how easy it is to spend $1,000 right now in this economy. $1,000.
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, let's not spend any money today. I walk out the front door, I owe somebody $50. You literally cannot go a day without owing somebody bread. It's insane. 2026 is insane. The cost of living is ridiculous.
Oh, and don't you be saving for a rainy day. It's gonna rain every day after the day that you was expecting it to rain in the future. Oh, it's gonna rain and never stop raining.
That's what 2026 has felt like. Every headline feels like I'm spending more money. Wars going on, making gas increase. AI is making computer parts like SSDs and RAM more expensive than they ever been. It's ridiculous, bro. Anywhere where the cost of something can be going up has and continues to do so. People can't even afford regular life anymore. They've completely abandoned the notion of being able to save. And if you're not saving anything and there's no pensions, there's no social security, how are you going to retire? You're not going to retire. You're finna work till you're in the dirt. This problem affects everyone. And when I say affects everyone, I do mean everyone. Celebrities are even finding themselves in a financial bind and are unable to retire when it feels like they should be the most secure out of anyone.
So people say some of these singers and rappers been doing it for 30 years. They don't have to do shows no more, do they? Of course they do. All that money that they got, they owed it to somebody. When you sign a record deal, that's not your money. It's the record label money. You got rappers from 10 years ago still paying back debts to record labels from 10 years ago. That's why they can't retire. That's why they selling shit on the TikTok studio. Ask Soulja Boy.
And there are countless examples of this. Mary J. Blige, Frankie Valli, Soulja Boy. Dang, you made how many bangers and you're still out here peddling products? Like, it's crazy.
Mary J. Blige does not want to do that residency. I think she has to do it because of her contract. The woman is broke and she's locked in for literally a lifetime. We see all the time that a lot of these artists, they sign these really bad contracts in the beginning, but they don't really understand how deep these contracts go until you're in your 50s still performing and having to do a residency. Because if you think about it, if you got to that age, you got that kind of success, why would you want to still be performing like your life depends on it?
Now, granted, it could be for the love of the game. Mostly it's for the love of the money. At the end of the day, let's be honest. She's broke and the passion is gone and you can see it whenever she performs. And that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what your retirement plan is, if you have one, or if you see yourself working until you're in the grave. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with someone that you think might enjoy it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.